Daniel hadn't expected anything to change after he filed the police report. He knew how paperwork moved, slow, procedural, buried under routine. But within days, something shifted in the atmosphere around him, subtle at first, then persistent enough that he couldn't ignore it. Faces began to repeat. Vehicles lingered a little too long. At the gym, where the rhythm of iron and breath usually drowned out everything else, he started noticing the same men in different corners of the floor. Civilian clothes, neutral colors, the kind designed to be forgotten. They never worked out hard, never stayed long, and their attention drifted in ways that didn't match the environment. Daniel had spent years learning what attention looked like when it tried not to be seen. Long before civilian life, before apartments and parking lots and routine days. He had trained under the United States Department of War in counter-surveillance, counterintelligence, and counter-terrorism operations. Observation had been survival then. Patterns, posture, positioning, tiny tells that separated coincidence from intent. That training never really left. It just went quiet until something woke it. Now it was awake again. At work, the pattern continued. Different building, same feeling. A man at a distance too often, another who seemed to appear during breaks. Both dressed as anyone else would be, jeans, polos, nondescript shoes. But they watched without looking, and Daniel recognized the discipline in it. To anyone else it might have read as ordinary presence. To him it read as surveillance attempting plausibility. He didn't react outwardly. Training also meant restraint. Escalation only happened when acknowledged. Instead, he did what he had been taught years ago. Document, establish baseline, record deviations. He logged times, locations, descriptions. He positioned himself where reflections in glass or mirrors expanded his field of view. His phone, innocuous in hand, captured stills and short clips when angles allowed. Not confrontation, confirmation. Strangely, the awareness didn't make him feel smaller. It brought back something steadier, older, the mindset he carried overseas during the long years of the global war on terrorism. Back then, attention from adversaries had meant he mattered operationally, that he was effective enough to be noticed. He remembered the clarity of those missions, the quiet victories that never made headlines. Routes secured, threats deterred, teams returned intact. Presence under pressure had been his environment, and he had moved through it with purpose. Now, standing between weight racks or walking out to his car after work, that same composure settled over him. If he was being watched, he would control what could be controlled. Awareness, evidence, discipline. He wouldn't speculate aloud or assign meaning beyond facts. He would simply ensure that every unusual presence became part of a record that could not be dismissed later. It struck him that fear and familiarity can occupy the same space. The situation itself was unsettling. No, one welcomes the sense of being observed, but the response it awakened in him was grounded and practiced. He had navigated harder terrain against clearer threats with less margin. Compared to that, this was documentation and patience. As days passed, Daniel continued his routines unchanged. Gym, work, home. The figures in civilian attire came and went, sometimes present, sometimes absent. Each time, he noted, each time he remained outwardly ordinary. Inside, the old operational mindset stayed engaged, not as aggression, but as readiness. Whatever the explanation for the attention around him, Daniel knew one thing with certainty. He had faced surveillance before, in harsher theaters and higher stakes. He had prevailed then through discipline and evidence, and he would meet this the same way, calm, observant, and prepared.